Hello, I'm going to do the Cancer weekly energy reading for the November 12th to the 18th. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. I am also going to do an extended, and you can see that in my page membership. There is a join button at the bottom of the video, and I will leave a link in the description if you feel that this reading resonates for you. Okay, I have my clarifying stone on top of the cards to clarify the cards. And this is my Psychic Tarot deck. If you are interested in any of the cards that I'm using, the links are down below. All right, so we have the current situation, which is the Empress, fertility, crossed by number 21, the universe, which is the world. And what do you need to focus on? We have the Six of Pentacles. What are you leaving behind? The Ace of Cups, love begins. Your strengths, we have the the Nine of Cups. I was seeing that as a six. I was seeing it upside down. The Nine of Cups, I love that. In the near future, we have the Five of Cups, emotional loss. For advice, we have number 11, balance, which is the Justice card. The environment, we have the Ace of Wands, passion ignited. Hopes and fears, we have the Six of Wands, victory and success. And potential outcome, we have the Nine of Pentacles, material harvest. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Cups. So definitely a lot of cups here. So a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings going on here. And with the overall energy as discontent and boredom, I feel like you're kind of, maybe you're feeling that, you're lost interest. You're not feeling excited. You're not feeling that spark. You're not feeling that passion. You're just like, I'm just going with the flow. I'm just trying to get through each day. I'm just trying to deal with all of these, just the daily things, and kind of just feeling like numb. For some reason, I'm feeling like numb. But I feel that things are definitely going to turn around for you, because with our potential outcome, we have that material harvest, the Nine of Pentacles, which is that those rewards for the hard work that you're doing. So we have the current situation, which is the Empress, which is growth. It can represent fertility. It's evolving and changing, but that is being challenged by the universe, which is the world. And I feel like maybe you're feeling like you're stuck in a situation and that things are not going to change. So you're kind of in this just kind of acceptance, and sometimes we get into that energy where it's like, I'm just going to give up. I'm not even going to try, because why bother? Because nothing ever works in my favor and nothing really comes out. Like kind of being in that mental state of that frustration where it's like every time I try and make some changes, or every time I try and do things differently, I feel like I'm working against it and things go backwards for me. And definitely when, if it has to do with a relationship, and it with a friend, family member, partner, and it's like no matter how much I try, I always feel like it's not good enough, right? I just feel like it's in this mental frustration mode that you're in, and you're just kind of feeling like you're stuck and you want to give up. So what do you need to focus on? We have the Six of Pentacles, material and spiritual prosperity. So I feel like what you need to do is you need to sit down and you need to say, what is that spiritual and material? Like, what does prosperity represent to me? Like, how would I like my life to be? Or how would I like this relationship to be? Right? Or what would bring me happiness? Is it moving on from this relationship? Is it, working on myself and doing that self-care? Do I need to focus more on my needs? Do I need to make some changes? Because you are responsible for your life and your choices and your changes, and what you keep, your situations you keep yourself in, and what situations you remove yourself from. and you are responsible for those. And there's always a way to make things work. If we feel that we're stuck, that it can only be one way, then we're limiting ourselves and we have our blinders on. And so it's time to take those blinders off and say that if you're not happy, right? If you're in this energy of discontent and boredom and you're not feeling fulfilled, what does fulfillment look like and feel like for you? What does that represent to you? And start with that. And what does it feel like if you're achieving those goals, or you're in that energy, or you're feeling that way? Like, what does that feel like? Like, how does that change your life? Like, really getting into that energy and feeling that and saying, okay, now I know my goal, and how do I get from there to there? And what are those things that I have to start doing? What are those things that I have to start changing? And right, set up a plan. Instead of just accepting, start taking some actions to do something, because doing something will at least achieve, like, you'll feel like you're doing something, right? It's not like you're just accepting and giving up. Like, you have to fight for you. And then what you're leaving behind, your love begins. So I feel like there's relationships that I feel that are going to have to be adjusted and changed. And there may be some that you're going to walk away from, but I also feel like it's that feeling of giving up on yourself, right? That you're leaving that old self that, you know, accepts less than what you deserve, or tolerates relationships or situations that don't fulfill you or make you happy. You know, we all can't have rainbows and unicorns, and there are some situations that aren't the best that we have to deal with. We all have those relationships where we're like, well, you know, I have to deal with that person. But to make the best of that situation and not connect yourself and kind of, you know, distance yourself mentally from that so that you don't get emotionally hurt. If you know that you have to connect with someone, and you know the way that they are, and they're always letting you down, and they're saying their words, or their actions are never meeting their words, then it's like, okay, I need to, you know, do what's best for me and say, I'm not going to believe that person's words, because I know they're not going to follow through, because they've shown me that again and again and again, but I still have to have a relationship with this person. So I just need to distance myself mentally from that person, you know, because I have to protect myself. What are those changes that you need to make within relationships? Your strengths, we have the 9 of Cups, and that's, right, fulfilling of wishes. Like, you are able, you make things come true. You make things happen, right? That I feel like you're generally a very happy person, like you're a content person, but this situation has just kind of thrown you off and put you in this discontent and boredom. And that's okay. That happens in life. And I feel like that's to show us, okay, we have to make adjustment. We have to make changes. We have to do things differently. And that's what's being shown to you. This is not here to work against you. It's here to work for you to grow, right? With this Empress here, for you to grow and for you to learn, and for you to, you know, move to the next level. And that's what these challenges are here for. It's almost like, I kind of envision it as like a snake, right? And it's shedding its skin because it's outgrown the last one, and it's time for it to grow bigger. And, you know, it's time to change. So I feel like that's you too, kind of shedding the old ways, shedding those old habits, and to bring in some new ones. In the near future, we have emotional loss, but this is the 5 of Cups, but I feel like it represents, I feel like usually the 5 of Cups is the person is looking at the 3 spilled cups, but there's 2 cups behind them that they're not seeing. They have their backs to the 2 cups. So I feel like there may be an emotional loss in some of these relationships that you have to move on from, or some of these changes that you're making. But I also feel that there is emotional gain too, because you're letting go of what doesn't serve you, but you're also starting to focus on what does. And it may just be something that is small, but I feel like that will grow bigger and bigger, and the feeling of loss will become smaller and smaller. So it's all about how you look at it. So there may be a sense of loss in the near future, but it's also bringing on a sense of gain, because I feel like where one door closes, another door is opening. Where something ends, something else begins. It's opening up that space for those new beginnings. It's all about how you perceive and you look at it. The advice is number 11, which is balance, and that's the Justice card. And it's like having that balance within yourself, but also doing those things that you feel are best for you, that bring that balance in your life, and having things, not feeling like things are working against you, but that things are working for you. Changes and choices are working for you. We have the environment, which is passion ignited, which is the Ace of Wands. I love it. That's the environment. Here I felt like we have the discontent and boredom, and you feel like you're stuck and you're just trudging along. But the environment here with this situation and why this is happening is to get that passion ignited within yourself again, and to get that excitement back, right? That's why these things are happening. That's why I said before, that's why these challenges happen, is to show you something, for you to do something about it. If you're not happy, then do something about it, right? We have the hopes and fears. We have victory and success. Definitely the Six of Wands. Victory and success, putting your mindset in, this is a victory and success for myself because I am making changes. I am making choices. I am not accepting what does not work for me. And then our potential outcome, we have the material harvest. Yes, you are harvesting those things. It doesn't necessarily have to be material, but it's because it's pentacles. But it's also, it's about, I feel like it's those rewards, that harvest that you have, that you've worked so hard for, that you've seen that there was a problem, and you've taken those steps to change that. You've taken those steps to move on from that. And that's an amazing and good thing. And that's what you need to focus on. It's those rewards for seeing that there's a problem and you're taking care of the problem instead of ignoring it. All right, I'm going to grab a wisdom of the Oracle, Energy Oracle. We have indecision. I kind of feel like you're at a crossroads. I feel like part of you wants to make these changes and part of you just wants to keep things the way that they are. And I kind of feel like you're kind of at this crossroads where it's like, you know, making that choice of which way do I go? Do I just keep things the way that they are, or do I make these changes? And definitely bringing change in, it's a lot. And sometimes it can be really hard in the beginning, especially if you're kind of not 100% into the changes, and it can be overwhelming. But once you've made those changes, right? Like if you change your job and you're like, oh, I'd really like to do this other job, but it's like, oh boy, I'm starting at the bottom of the pile and I'm starting at the beginning. I don't know anybody, and I'm not really sure, you know, everything that needs to be done, and it can be scary and overwhelming. But you know, once you do that, all of a sudden over time, before you know it, it all just becomes regular, and it just becomes like you're not even thinking about it. And same with like starting new friendships or moving to a new area. It's like, oh boy, I don't know where anything is, and I have to find all new doctors, and you know, making new friends and neighbors, and what's that going to be like? And you could definitely think yourself into not doing anything. But then once you do it and you've been there for a while, then you start figuring these things out, and then it all becomes the new norm. So that's what you have to keep in mind with these changes that need to be made, and thinking about that, because I feel like you're kind of at a crossroads here. All right, I'm going to grab an Angel Answers. And we have listen to your intuition. Perfect. Those cards go perfect together. Listen to your intuition, that if you are in an indecision, what is your gut telling you to do? What is your gut telling you to do? What are you leaning towards? Sometimes it's like you need to, if you're at a crossroads and you're like, well, let's just keep it simple. Say you have a pair of shoes, and you ask your friend or your partner, and you say, and so to go with an outfit, and you're like, well, which shoes do you like better? And they choose one, but your immediate reaction is, no, I didn't really like those. I liked these over here. Go with that feeling. It's almost like you didn't, and the person says, well, why did you even ask me when you already knew what you wanted to do? So I feel like it's kind of one of those, like, listen to your intuition is, you know, kind of asking yourself those questions. Okay, I decided I'm not going to do anything, but then what does that feel like inside? Do you have like a sick feeling inside and you're like, yeah, that's really not the answer that I wanted to do, or that's not really what I wanted to do, that I really need to make some choices and some changes. So listening to your intuition for that indecision and to find those answers. All right, I'm going to do the extended if you are interested. If not, I hope you have an amazing week, and thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.